Hello, it's Pete here, your favourite design thinking person, here to give you some tips for running a successful and productive and useful brainstorm using design thinking techniques. Now, let's start off with a little overview of what a typical brainstorm format usually looks like. It will probably be something like book an hour or two with a bunch of people, tell them that we need ideas about this thing, please come up with ideas. People come up with some ideas, and then you end the meeting. Now, this is not a productive use of time, but it can be if you just apply some basic design thinking principles to the way that you run your session. Now, funnily enough, South Park accidentally managed an absolutely perfect representation of the sort of typical brainstorming session, and it sort of looks something like this.
Believe in Santa right now!
Again, so when you think about it, in the context of that clip, brainstorms are actually quite an aggressive, intrusive method, and are not particularly inclusive. You're doing really exactly what Adlan does to Butters in that clip. You're demanding openness, vulnerability, and creativity from a group of people, Butters in that clip, who might not necessarily be ready for it or open to it. Personally, I don't really have any attachment to my ideas. I'm more than happy to just throw nonsense out and see if anything sticks. But that is absolutely not the case for some people. The way most people run brainstorming sessions just ignores that sensitivity. You're not really creating a nice environment, and the ideas you get, well...
Red suit, white beard, Santa!
Yeah, probably not great. But there is a better way of doing it, just by following a couple of very basic techniques from design thinking, which is what I'm going to cover with you in the 3 videos after this introduction. Now, to give you some context, a full design thinking sprint consists of a variation of 6 phases. Understand, observe, synthesis or point of view, ideation, prototype, and test. Now, why am I telling you that? What's the takeaway? The important thing here is that only 1/6 of a methodology that is specifically for coming up with ideas is actually dedicated to coming up with ideas. And that's only within the context of how many phases there are. Typically, the actual ideas session, would be a lot shorter than certainly observe, definitely synthesis, and probably understand as well. Now, that 6-phase thing with all of that stuff is not how your brainstorm session will work. I know that we don't have time to do all those things all the time, but we can take some lessons from it, and we certainly will. So this is how the next 3 videos are going to play out, and the sort of 3 techniques that you're going to learn here. The first one is framing the problem and establishing axioms. That's what we're going to start off with. Then the second one is doing the brainstorm. So there's going to be some techniques and methods that you can do that, stops you from being that believe in Santa right now starting to brainstorm. And then finally, and this is a really important one that everyone always forgets, is the evaluation selection process. So that's going through the ideas, figuring out which are the ones that you actually want to take. Because again, a lot of people forget is that the output of a workshop or the output of a session is actually the input to something else. So you really need to think about what is the purpose of those ideas and how are they going to be carried forward to the rest of the project. So there we go. That's what the next 3 videos are going to look like. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much for watching. On to the first lesson. Lesson? Now, I'll try that again. On to the first lesson.